So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be continuing with the LeBron era rebuilds. It seems like you guys have been enjoying them very much. I have been as well. And today we have the Washington Wizards. This video will start at the beginning of the 2010-2011 NBA season, which means here in DC we do have John Wall going into his rookie season. #1 overall pick. I am very, very excited today to kick off this rebuild. This team is not necessarily great, but I think there's a lot of building blocks to hopefully result in a championship. We'll talk about the rest of this team and kind of my plans for this video in just a second, but before we do, as always, if you guys have not yet, give me some video ideas down below. I know you guys are all very, very creative people because I still see the comments when you guys do comment. Give me some video ideas. Whatever's popping in your head right now, let me know down below in the comment section. So I've been really enjoying some of the ideas you guys have been giving me. This one was a request as well. That's why we're here doing it today. So very excited for this. This team is not good. I've been waiting for a team to be bad to rebuild in the LeBron era. Hopefully end up in a championship. Let's get into it. As I've now mentioned a few times, this is not necessarily a very talented team. They have the #1 overall pick the year prior, and you're not going to be very good. I think that's a pretty simple and safe explanation. So going position by position, John Wall has, and guess in this scenario, hypothetically, yet to touch an NBA court, and he's already our highest overall player. I'll take it. We all know John Wall in DC was unbelievably talented. His career kind of fell off eventually, but he was very, very good in his prime. He really was. So he's only 20 here today, still very young. He's going to be a building block for us. We have Gilbert Arenas. Agent Zero is here. I don't necessarily know why he's a 77 overall. 22.5 points the year prior, about 4 rebounds, 7 assists a game. That field goal percentage and 3-point percentage isn't great. But I think this is something, that should be a little bit higher, honestly. A 77 for that is kind of insane, in my opinion. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to do with him. Not really a building block for me here today, but we'll find a spot for him eventually, if not a trade. Kirk Hinrich is here. He's basically 30 years old. He could be a good backup point guard option. Could probably also play the 2 guard as well. Dale Strickland and Tiago Russell, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume we're not real people. The shooting guard spot, Swaggy P himself, Mr. Nick Young. He's 25. I mean, Nick Young is not a franchise kind of cornerstone piece. He's a nice player to have, I guess. He's not going to be somebody we're building around today. Cliff Griffin, Andrew Wilson, and Gerald Jennings are, they're not real. The small forward spot, not witty. Literally nothing. So that's something we'll address before we kick off year 1. Power forward spot, we have Andre Blatch. He is 24 at an 80 overall. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yi Jinlin? I'm horrible with names, but I remember seeing this name all the time. But Yi here is going to be maybe a rotation piece. We'll see. We have a young Trevor Booker as well. And then Wesley Whitman, I'm going to, again, not real. And then the center spot, we have 22-year-old JaVale McGee. Maybe could be my guy throughout the video. We'll kind of see how development goes. And then Daniel Roberts. Throughout all my LeBron rebuild or LeBron era rebuild so far, I think this Wizards team has the most just not real people that I've ever seen, which is kind of crazy. Like, I know sometimes you can't fill out an entire historic roster because you can't get rights or whatever it is, but you can do better than this. This is crazy. So we do have a few trades coming. Our first trade is going to be coming with the New Orleans Hornets, and it is a relatively big one. We're sending Yi Jianlian, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, him and Wesley Whitman, whoever the fuck you are, to New Orleans, and we're going to be picking up Trevor Ariza, who's going to come in here. He's going to be my new starting small forward. I've desperately needed a small forward considering there wasn't really technically one on the roster. And Trevor Ariza is coming off very much a career year. So 6'8", very excited to have him here. Honestly, Yi was an expiring contract anyways, and I have Trevor Booker to back up Andre Blatch. So that's not the end of the world moving on from him. I know he was still relatively young, but I'm not stressed about it too much. Also, I went ahead and moved Kirk Hinrich to the backup shooting guard spot. He has, an 83 overall 3. It's not the end of the world. So in terms of who is going to be backing up Trevor Ariza, I honestly don't know. I also do not know who's going to be backing up JaVale McGee because it's sure as shit not going to be Daniel Roberts here, who I'm not even going to say what I think he probably does for a living. But other than that, I mean, there's not any really major moves. I mean, we just have a bunch of NPCs on this team who are all bald. I mean, that's just the nicest way to say it. So I will try. I'm going to keep Gilbert Arenas for a year to back up, maybe mentor John Wall a little bit. But if I take a look at like free agents right now, I mean, this is not fun. It's all these boring ass fake two-way players that do nothing but piss me off. So Eric Dampier, honestly, for a season, I have all these never mind. I have all these fucking asshats on this team who aren't even real, and they're taking up not only money, but roster spots as well. So let's take the GOAT, Scalabrine, and a first. You know what? If 2K wants to bend me over and go ahead and actually not only take away roster spots, but want to put a bunch of random ass people on this team, I'm going to abuse the game, and I'm going to take a first round pick and clear up a roster spot so I can sign Eric Dampier. So we're going to do that. We'll sign him to, yeah, he's 35. We'll do a 1-year deal. So he will be the backup to JaVale McGee here for year 1. So Daniel Roberts and the Funky Bunch don't have to play at all. And then in terms of the backup for Ariza, I don't know. I'm not expecting to be good this year. I think they had like the 6th overall pick in real life, and hopefully we're going to find somebody who can definitely help this team. So, I mean, is there anybody else here that I could possibly sign? Because I don't want to give up assets or anything in order to make this happen. Like Antonio Daniels is 6'4". These are all just not even real people. I mean, this is just... is this? Oh, Jesus Christ. I saw D. Wilkins and I assumed it was Dominique. Yeah, so you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go 9-man rotation. We're going to stink anyways. I want to make sure we have our first. We do. So let's go ahead and set that rotation. I have a sneaky suspicion that we're not going to be a good team this year, and that's kind of exactly what I want. I want to go ahead and get a high draft pick. We can hopefully go ahead and draft another cornerstone piece for this franchise next to John Wall. So we'll figure that out at some point in time. Here's how it's going to look for year 1. John Wall is playing 37 minutes a night. I want him to develop as much as possible. I want him to play as well as possible. Most minutes, it's definitely going to help that happen. Nick Young will be next to him in our backcourt. Newly acquired Trevor Ariza here at the 3 will not have a backup. Definitely going to be some interesting rotations. Andre Blatch and then JaVale McGee in our front court. The bench unit, it's okay. It's not terrible. It's okay. Gilbert Arenas will be our 6th man. Kirk Heinrich follows him. Newly signed Eric Dampier. And Trevor Booker will be our backup power forward. So 9-man rotation here under Walt McLeod, who I don't think is a real person. Just another knock on 2K's brilliant game. That's it for year 1, man. I'll see you guys at the end of it. Year 1 officially comes to a close. We finished with a record of 26-56. I want it to be bad. We achieved that goal. Works out for everybody. LeBron, first year in Miami, is your MVP. Blake Griffin, your Rookie of the Year. Manu Ginobili, Dwight Howard, Serge Ibaka, and Tom Thibodeau is your Coach of the Year. Yeah, I mean, these awards are pretty much always the same here for year 1 of the LeBron era rebuilds. All right, standings is important because we want to go ahead and have the worst record possible in order to hopefully get the best pick possible. So we're the 3rd worst team here in the East. And what is that? Shit, we're going to have like the 6th projected pick, which isn't great. I mean, this is a decent draft class, but I'd like to be just a little bit worse. But I guess we did have some talent on our team. Rookie year, John Wall, about 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 8.5 assists is tremendous. He was 51% from the field, 1.5 steals a game. This is good. This is definitely good. Nick Young, Andre Blatch, Gilbert Arenas, Ariza, McGee, Heinrich, Dampier. I mean, you can see. And then rebounds was McGee and assists was John Wall. So, yeah, the playoffs are not happening for kind of obvious reasons. Let's sim through this right now. It is going to be a Bulls and Mavericks finals. And just like in real life in 2011, Dirk in Dallas win it all, and Dirk gets that first and only finals MVP. Good for you. Okay, it is time for a very important offseason. We are going to have some decisions to make with terms of, talent on this team, in terms of roster, everything. Literally everything. Shaq goes into the Hall of Fame. Bit of a surprise. Historic changes. So we are changing the logo of the Washington Wizards. Just kind of going to that boring old, minimalist logo they have now. It is what it is. I don't like the Wizards logo. NBA logos and jerseys used to be so much cooler, and Nike took over, and everything's gone downhill since. We're projected number 5 overall, which is nice. I thought it was going to be 6. I'll take 5. We have a 7.6% chance of landing that number 1 overall pick, and let's see what happens here. We end up falling. We go to 6, where I initially thought we were. I might move up. I'm not sure yet. What? Timeout. If you're going to give me, is this Sam Cassell? What the fuck? I would rather have him. If you're going to give me a non-real, like a fictional head coach, I understand we're a bad team. He doesn't even have half a star at anything but potential. This is me. You put me out there. If you want a white dude who maybe is 25 pounds heavier, you put me out there, right? This is insane. Okay, we're moving on. We're going to find a new head coach. This feels like a tremendous video to go out and get Stauffer. Don Nelson is also here. Could go out and get Donnie, but he has 7 offers. I'm just going to take the sure thing here. I also see Popovich down there. If Greg Popovich ever wanted to coach the Wizards, I think the sky would fall. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Mike Stauffer. I definitely need him this video, and I haven't gotten him in a minute, so hopefully you're all okay with that. I know some of you are not, probably. Let's see. The 6th overall pick is definitely not nothing. It is something I can work with. I would have preferred it to be a little bit higher. I'm not going to draft Kawhi. I've gotten Kawhi in a few of these kind of LeBron-era rebuilds. I do want to change it up. If we're going positionally, I don't need Kyrie. I have John Wall. I'm sure they could work it out if they played in the backcourt together. I'm not going to do that today. Klay Thompson could be on my radar. I think that's a very realistic possibility for me. One of the best shooters in NBA history, obviously played next to Steph Curry his whole career. Somebody else I'm very interested in is actually a little bit lower on this list, and that is Mr. Jimmy Butler. Now, he is ranked as a C+, so maybe he's not the highest overall and needs a little bit of development. But out of this draft class, is he, I don't know, where do you rank him between, Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie and Klay Thompson? Like, Klay obviously has the rings. I think from a talent perspective, Jimmy's always been better. Maybe not always, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I think Jimmy's on my radar, and he's ranked 5th according to SN and 2nd according to 2K. So even though he's this low in terms of overall, I still think I have to move up a little bit. So we definitely probably have a trade coming. The Pistons have the 3rd overall selection. I would like to have it. So let's make a deal. How about it? This is 6 in round 1. This is 6 in round 2. What do you say? Didn't think so. In terms of players I could maybe trade, now Arenas, is somebody I do want to move. I don't know if I want to move him in this deal to move up 3 spots, but there are definitely some other players here maybe. I don't really want to move Ariza either. Trevor Booker's somebody I could consider just because he's a rotation piece. And quite honestly, I think I'd rather have a first-round pick than Trevor Booker. So he's 2 stars in value. And then can I get this done with like just seconds? Can we maybe make that work? Perfect. So number 3 overall does not guarantee me Jimmy Butler, but it guarantees me one of Kawhi, Kyrie, or Jimmy. I have no idea who it's going to be. I'm hoping it's Jimmy. He's my target. I mean, it's... Can you hear me, 2K? I mean, the microphone is right here, but I mean, what in the name of Big Brother is going on? All right, well, I'm going to sim up to my pick now and see if Utah is in a, generous mood and wants to, like, Jimmy Butler does not want to be in Utah. I can tell you that. Kawhi goes number 2. He's a 76 overall, so maybe there's a little bit of work that needs to be done there still, but I don't know. If I can't find a trade, I guess I'm just taking Kyrie and we're going to make it work in the backcourt. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's not the worst plan in the world, but there are other avenues I want to go. Hence, I want Jimmy Butler. I like mixing it up a little bit. So, Utah, let's make a deal. How about it? Where are the Jazz? I don't want Paul Millsap. I have no fucking interest in Paul Millsap, and I can't even trade for him unless I go ahead. This system is so weird. Unless you have, like, an insane offer, you actually can't even, like, get access to trading for players who are just drafted. So, like, if I do Blatch, is Jimmy Butler in there? Okay, he is. So now I can negotiate at least. So Paul Millsap, I'm not giving up Black. I don't really want to give up Heinrich either. This game makes literally 0 fucking sense. Okay, so we get Jimmy Butler. It takes way more work than it probably should have, but he's going to be a 76 overall. Whether I play him at the 2 or the 3 is TBD. I have no idea. It depends what the rest of this roster looks like. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So Nick Young, I'm not going to let walk for nothing. I have no idea if he's going to start for me next year, but he's definitely somebody I would like to retain. And then in terms of this free agency class, we've seen this all before. It's not a great class by any means. Carmelo Anthony could be fun. I have no idea why he'd really want to come here realistically. So what I'm really focused on right now is I think it's time to move on from Gilbert Arenas. He's by far the highest paid player on the team, and his time here has just come to an end. So let's find a trade. We've officially found a trade partner for Gilbert Arenas, and it is going to be the New Jersey Nets. He's going to find a new home. We're getting a top 3 protected first in next year's draft, and then Jason Davis, whoever the hell this is. 2K likes to put in these like fake ass fucking people and pay them $1 bajillion. It's just beyond stupid. You take a look at this team, it's still pretty good. I suspect this pick will probably not be too great, but it's a first for a guy we weren't really going to need anyways. So welcome to the team, Jason Davis, I guess. And yeah, we're just going to send you right back out. I have absolutely no interest in keeping you on this roster. That's a Mario Moon. Good name. Thank you very much, Sacramento. Clears up a little bit of cap space now if we maybe wanted to go out and make a splash. I mean, in terms of this roster, we kind of have all of our starters figured out in terms of the way I want to go. Now, is Andre Blatchard or JaVale McGee my long-term power forward center, respectively? I don't know. They're both entering contract years, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Carmelo Anthony could be a fun addition. It just looks like he has less than 0 interest in actually joining this team, which I don't really blame you. Al Horford is restricted, but he could be another guy we maybe take a flyer on. That's a max contract. I'll throw it out to Al. I doubt he wants to come here. He does not, so I don't really blame you. And then, I don't know, because I could maybe try to get Randolph. He's just 30 years old. Clearly no need for Parker or Conley. Marc Gasol, I've just signed him a bunch. This draft class, it just stinks. Or free agency class, just stinks. That's just the nicest way to say it. So, I guess we're just going to kind of be mediocre again for a year. So I'm going to go out and try to find Nick Young again. I don't want to just let him go for nothing. So let's just sign him to a 3-year deal, about $8 million AAV. And yeah, everybody else, get the fuck out of here. So welcome back, Nick Young. Al Horford, oh, well, they matched it anyways. Not that that's too big of a surprise. So Nick Young is back. Now we can take a full look at this roster construction right now. I think what I'm going to do is have Jimmy Butler play my 3. He's 21 years old. I have Trevor Ariza. But at the end of the day, if we're thinking potential-wise and who we want to start on this team, long-term, it's going to be Jimmy Buckets. So he's going to be my starting small forward. Moving forward, Ariza will come off the bench behind him. We have Nick Young and Kirk Heinrich, so I need a backup point guard at this point and some backup big men. So let's see what we got here in terms of free agency. That's okay. Let's see. Big man. I still have like Randolph money if I really wanted it. I really don't. I want to save some money for next year's free agency. I think this could be a really... Next year's really talented. I think this could fit... I can't fucking speak. This team could use a superstar next year. Holy shit, just give me Jared fucking Dudley. I'm sorry. I'm swearing a lot. My apologies. And then in terms of centers, like, is Kendrick Perkins my best option? I mean, I guess. He's only 26, so... Sure. Big Perk. Welcome to the team. And then... JJ Barea, I just had in my rebuild the other day with Dallas, so I'll go out and try to get Sean Livingston instead. So we get Perkins... And we get the other 2 we wanted as well. So we have a pretty good bench now at this point. This starting 5 still isn't elite by any means, but we're definitely kind of working our way up and getting better. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. This has the feel of one of those seasons that could be a bit of a surprise. Now, I don't know if we're going to be one of those elite kind of top tier contenders. This Eastern Conference is very good, but I think we could be sneaky. I really do. I think we filled out this roster quite nicely with the bench. Starting 5 still doesn't amaze anyone. That's pretty obvious. But John Wall is developing nicely. Obviously went ahead and added Jimmy Butler. Nick Young's gone up a couple overalls. Who knows what could happen? This could be a fun year. And, we have a new head coach, too, that has perfect ratings compared to last year. Literally complete 180 in terms of head coach. So, I don't know. This could be a fun year. John Wall, Nick Young, Jimmy Butler, Andre Blatch, and JaVale McGee. Also, shouldn't these uniforms be different by this point? I don't know. Sean Livingston takes over as our 6th man. Jared Dudley follows him. Trevor Ariza now moves to the bench. Kendrick Perkins and Kirk Heinrich. So we've definitely filled out this team. It's much more of a complete team, but there's just really not that, not a next level game-changing player there yet. So we'll find that out, maybe sign him in free agency, but John Wall is our number 1 right now, and hopefully he can lead us to the promised land. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. I thought year 2 could be sneaky for us, and it was. We won 49 games this year, which I think is an overachievement by far, and it should be a playoff spot. I'm very happy with how year 2 went here in DC. Kobe Bryant winning MVP at the age of 33. Just insane, insane numbers for one of the greatest of all time. Nikola Vucevic, Rookie of the Year. Not Kawhi Leonard, not Jimmy Butler, not Kyrie Irving, but Nikola Vucevic. Good for you. LaMarcus Aldridge, 6th man of the year. I don't know what world is out there that he's not starting. Dwight Howard is your depoy. Trevor Booker, most improved. And Phil Jackson does win Coach of the Year in LA. So let's see. We're a 5 seed. I can just see it right there. We have Indiana in round 1. Let's check out the full standings real quick. I mean, 49 wins again. It feels like it's better than we were supposed to be. So, maybe I don't necessarily anticipate a long playoff run, but this is a really good year for development for our young core. So here's a look at the West. And all right, let's dive into some numbers right now. See how everybody played. Scoring, surprisingly, is, I don't want to say it's even, but, John Wall really hasn't gotten up to that 20-point per game mark yet. I thought he'd be there by now, but he's not. Him and Nick Young, both 17-plus a game. Jimmy Butler, pretty good rookie season, nearly 15, 3, and 4. I can definitely live with that in a rookie season. Andre Blatch, JaVale McGee was a double-double. Dudley, Livingston, Ariza, Heinrich, and Perkins. Rebounds, Mr. JaVale McGee, and assists was John Wall. So, I mean, I'm not trying to sleep on the fact that John Wall is averaging 9 assists. I know he's very good passing point. You understand what I'm saying. All right, man. Indiana. JJ Barea, they ended up signing him. We decided not to, so could be interesting. You got Brandon Rush. You have a young Paul George. Boris Diaw. You got Roy Hibbert, Danny Granger coming off the bench. Darren Collison. Oh, my God, it's a very good bench. Okay, we actually do win game 1 and game 2 and game 3. And we just swept the Indiana Pacers. This team might have something. This team might have something. Now, is it all going to come crumbling down now that we have MVP Derrick Rose and the rest of the Chicago Bulls coming up against us? I feel it might, but this team winning a playoff series, never mind sweeping a playoff series, is insane. So, I'm happy with whatever happens here. We won. Okay, we finally lose a game. We lose another game. We tie it up 2-2. We go down 3-2, and we get bounced in 6. That feels like it's probably appropriate. And the Miami Heat have still not won, and they have lost in the first round now. That is just wild. The Thunder get it done. Russell Westbrook is your finals MVP. So this is our last offseason. That is clearly a very important thing to consider when we construct this team, when we look at free agents, all that fun stuff. We have to decide who we can keep, who do we have to trade away. I don't know who that's going to be. So we'll figure it out. We will. Historic changes, that's cool. And then draft lottery time. I know we traded for a couple picks. Oh, I see us right there at 12. I know that pick's what, top 3 protected, whatever, but we're gonna have a lottery pick, which is cool, unless it jumps up like crazy. It does not. So we're sitting there at 12, which is, you know, better than nothing. Stauffer is obviously good. He was probably a pretty big piece of why this team was, you know, had the season that we did. So 12th overall pick. We also have 24 on our own, and then number 20 in round 2 from Sacramento. So I have something I kind of want to do right now. It sucks because I want to upgrade this front court, but Blatch and McGee are both expired. And I'm not necessarily even saying they played bad. I just think there's a deal out there somewhere that I want to make. So hang with me. I was going to go ahead and pull off a big trade, try to get a really young player to come over here that was, you know, hopefully making not a lot of money. But the tricky thing is that before the draft, a lot of guys are on team options. You can't trade for them yet. So that idea kind of went out the window. I'm trying to save money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to trade up in the draft. This is number 5 overall here from the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'd like to get it. Now, it's very, very rare that heading into a final season, I'll draft a rookie necessarily high that maybe can contribute at a significant level. I don't know what I'm expecting here from whoever I get. I think it will depend on who is there at number 12, or excuse me, number 5. But I'd like to make something happen, whether they're coming off the bench, starting, whatever it may be. So I'm going to try to work something here. I don't have a ton of future draft picks. I'm going to try to get this done with just seconds. I doubt it'll work. It's clearly not. So, again, I can also give up a player. I don't know who is going to be here in terms of who I can draft. So, like, I could trade Jared Dudley. I could actually get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll include a first in 2016. This should get it done. It does. All right, so this is the Anthony Davis draft. Bradley Beal's here. Wizards ended up with him in real life. Damian Lillard is here. AD goes number 1 to Orlando. Let's see. Drummond goes 2 to Houston. Number 3 overall is a trade. Okay, interesting. Bradley Beal is now in Houston. Holy shit. What else we got here? Interesting. Big trade for Zach Grant. And Damian Lillard ends up with the Suns. So that could have been fun. I don't know. Maybe I bring in Draymond Green, who apparently is the number 1 ranked prospect in this draft class. It's very interesting. I do think Draymond Green could, like, weirdly fit this team kind of nicely and just kind of be an important piece off the bench for me. I'm just going to go ahead and take him. Draymond Green's second-round pick in real life was probably one of the best second-round picks ever, quite honestly. You know, he's not like Nikola Jokic level, but you know what I'm saying. And he's actually a 77 overall. So John Wall's coming back at a beautiful $5 million price tag. I'll qualify JaVale McGee for just under 5. And then this is the free agency class that I was looking forward to. You know, I really never have money by this point, so that's why I've been, I guess, I don't want to say relatively hesitant, but there's a lot of different avenues we can go here, and we definitely have a lot of players to choose from. So Dwight Howard is kind of jumping out at me right now. There are 16 offers there. We don't have a full contract right now, but we can definitely clear up the space. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. I think Jared Dudley can obviously be moved now. We just acquired Draymond Green. So let's clear up that money. Thank you very much, Philadelphia. So do I throw an offer out here to Dwight Howard? That's a max contract. We give him a player option and a no-trade clause. Would just be a huge signing for us here. And it looks like we're going to get Dwight Howard, who is an unrestricted free agent. Now, something to keep in mind is that JaVale McGee and Andre Blatch are free agents. So I don't know what those cap holds are or if we're going to be able to keep them if we do get Dwight. But it's just, this is a big signing. Kevin Love is restricted. He'd be another really fun player to have. Brooke Lopez is restricted. A lot of these guys actually are restricted. It's actually a few more than I thought. So maybe I am really happy that it looks like anyways. I can also just sign Chris Paul. That's going to kind of probably be my backup plan, honestly. I'll play CP3 and John Wall together. Fuck it, he has 0 offers. Why the hell wouldn't he come here? Let's see. And we end up with Dwight Howard. Is there any way I can get both of them? I doubt it. Like, if I clear up this, I really just highly doubt it. Doesn't tell me how much money I have. It really just doesn't. All right, man. We have to probably choose unless I want to just completely blow up this roster, which I really don't right now. So what I might do, because I still am going to have to figure out a power forward no matter what. Is there any way I don't have to renounce Andre Blatch? Does not appear so. Yeah, no. So if I trade somebody here, I'm probably good. I mean, I can go ahead and, I don't know, maybe move Livingston. He's really my only option. Or it could be Trevor Ariza. And if I can get somebody a little bit cheaper, maybe that's an avenue. Because I don't want to destroy this bench, but I need to keep a power forward on this team. I really do. Let's see. Carl Landry's making $1 million, but he's not He's a 3, not a 4. Or a 4, not a 3. Small forward. Wilson Chandler's, it's less, but it's not. I don't know if that's enough. Get Gilbert Arenas back. All right, man. I might just take the draft picks, honestly, unless I want Mark. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Give me Marcus Morris for $1 million. Who was that? Tiny Scott. Oh, this game never fails to amaze me. All right, so we're going to bring in Dwight Howard. Please do not make me renounce Andre Blatch. It doesn't, so I'll be able to get him back. Dwight Howard is a huge signing, clearly, and I'm very excited to have him here. So Dwight Howard on a 3-year deal. He's a 95 overall, and he will be our starting center moving forward. So welcome back, or welcome Dwight Howard. And then I have to go find Andre Blatch. Hopefully the game lets me pay him now. It does. All right, we'll give him a 3-year deal, and then I might just sign and trade him immediately. I'd like to find an upgrade anyways heading into the final year. So we look at this roster. It is interesting. It is definitely a little depleted, but we've done a pretty good job at kind of building it back up. So Blatch is probably going to go. It's probably going to have to include every single draft pick I have, and let's just see who my power forward options are. I mean, I'm just curious. It's not going to be a very long list, and it's not, obviously can't be somebody making too much money like Paul Millsap. I don't even know. Is Blatch making enough? He is. I'd love to add Paul Millsap. So take whatever draft picks you want. This is the final year, and I still do need to figure out the bench, but this would be huge. Paul Millsap, welcome to the team. Okay, so Draymond will back up Millsap. Butler's still starting. Morris will back him up. I need a backup shooting guard and a backup center. More so a shooting guard. Leandro Barbosa is absolutely perfect. He's a 78 overall. And then center is going to be a little weak. Leon Poe is what I have right now. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and wait actually till the start of next season because the game's just got to automatically sign people for me, and then I'll trade them with first-round picks. So, see you guys there. We're here at the start of year 3 right now, and we're pulling off a trade to pick up a backup center with the Utah Jazz. Jan Mahimi is going to come in. He's going to be the backup to Dwight Howard. He's nothing special, but for a guy that's going to be playing 10 minutes a night, it is more than serviceable. Let's set the rotation. We just had a really kind of chaotic offseason. We're ready to kick off the final regular season, and we're hoping for a championship. You know, we've won a playoff series when maybe we probably shouldn't have, and we were maybe a little bit ahead of expectations. So we're going to see if we can just completely blow by all of those expectations and win a championship here in year 3. I like this roster. I'm happy that we, didn't go ahead. Oh, we did do some drastic things, but, I didn't trade Jimmy Butler, even though he's still only an 80 overall. We kept Nick Young. I think this team really kind of does fit together well. So Wall and Young are going to remain our backcourt. They've been at the entire video. Jimmy Butler remains at our 3. We have newly acquired Paul Millsap at the 4 and monster free agent signing Dwight Howard at our 5. Sean Livingston will be our 6th man off the bench. Rookie Draymond Green follows him. I've hit fucking RT. Leandro Barbosa, our new backup shooting guard. Jan Mahimi, our new backup center. And Marcus Morris Sr. backing up Jimmy Buckets. So it's a fun team. It's still a relatively young team, but I think this team can definitely make some noise. So is that a championship? We'll find out. We'll see you guys at the end of year 3. Just a beautiful third and final season here for us in DC. We won 63 games, by far our best record yet, and we're hoping we're on our way to a championship. I mean, it would just be a perfect way to cap off this video. Yeah, I almost said rookie. Young Steph Curry at 25 years old is your MVP. Anthony Davis went number 1 overall to Orlando. He's your rookie of the year. Steve Nash has got to be what? Yeah, he's 39, and he's been 6th man of the year. Dwight Howard wins a D point his first season here with us. You love to see it. Joseph Cook, you're not real. And Stafford does win a coach of the year. So already a really good start to this offseason. Now, it is time for the playoffs. Things can get a little testy here. It's a completely different game. We did have by 4 games, but you know what I mean. And it's the best record in the league. So statistically, maybe we should be going out and winning it. Here's a look at the numbers on the year. John Wall about just under 20 points a game, but double-double with 11 assists. Nick Young, Jimmy Butler, Dwight Howard, Paul Millsap, Barbosa, Livingston, Green, Morris, Mahimi. Rebounds is quite clearly Dwight Howard, and assist is John Wall. So Brooklyn here in round 1. Devin Harris, Daquan Cook, Maxwell Chavez, Derek Favors, Chris Kardashian, you got Brooke Lopez in there, Jordan Farmar, Tobias Harris. All right, I mean, this team's okay. Thanks for coming. All right, moving on to the Atlanta Hawks here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Kemba Walker's here, Joe Johnson, you got ISO Joe, Josh Smith, you got Al Horford, my glorious king. You got Channing Frye, Jeff Teague, Landry Fields. These are some fun names here. We dropped game 1 at home. That could be a big loss. We do win game 3 on their floor. They tie it up 2-2. We go up 3-2. That's big. And they force a game 7, and we do win. This is the Pacers team we beat in round 1 last year. Now, we're seeing a little bit of development out of a guy like Paul George, who clearly emerging as a superstar in this league. I still think this team's beatable. I really do. I think we're better. So can we go out and prove that here in the Eastern Conference Finals? We go up 2-0 pretty quick. We go up 3-0, and that's a sweep. That is a sweep. We're moving. The Clippers are here in the finals. And what the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Blake Griffin is good. DeAndre Jordan's solid. Eric Gordon, I'm sure, is still, he's clearly serviceable. But you know what I'm saying. But, like, this team is, they don't really blow you out of the water. So I guess maybe we got a little bit lucky not having to face, like, the Thunder or somebody. Or even, like, the Lakers or the Spurs or the Dallas Mavericks. Like, everybody but the Clippers? I don't know, man. That kind of feels like a big win to me. So it doesn't look like we're going to be sweeping them out of their own building. So I would rather win at home anyway. So let's go back to DC. Just get this done. Let's don't make me sweat about it. Let's just do this. All right, you're going to make me sweat because obviously you are. Come on. Have some balls. Fight. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in there. So just over 3 minutes to go here, and we have an 11-point lead. Unless things go crazy wrong, we should be winning a championship here in our third and final regular season. I have really enjoyed the way this video has gone today. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say it's like a non-traditional way of going about it, but, you know, we signed a free agent, Dwight Howard, that we've really never gotten before. We kept a young player in Jimmy Butler instead of trading him because he maybe wasn't fully developed. I mean, this was just kind of a fun way to do this video, and I'm really very happy about the way it kind of came out. So I'm thinking we probably have this one locked up. I'm not necessarily stressed. John Wall having a brilliant final game here. And maybe on his way to a finals MVP. You never really know. So let's just hopefully close him out here. You got Jimmy Butler. He's got 25. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Oh, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're just going to skip over that one right there. Let's just, wow. All right, well, Prime Blake Griffin was, he got up pretty high. I think we all remember that. John Wall is just putting on a damn show. My God. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, man, is this Baron Davis here? We're going to hopefully just try to lock him down. I do not want him getting by me. Blake Griffin is battling with Jimmy Butler right now. I'm not completely sure why Jimmy is on Blake Griffin. I feel like it probably should be Paul Millsap's job, but I don't know. I guess Prime Blake Griffin was just a completely different animal. Nobody could really cover him. That was my fault. I tried to close out with Dwight Howard right there, so he couldn't get a rebound. So, I mean, 9 points, not completely done yet, but we're inching towards that approach. So I'm going to call an isolation, and I want to do a pick and roll here with Dwight Howard. Catch a lob with Dwight from John Wall. Let's do that real quick. Howard just not going. I fucked that up. That was completely on me. That's also on me. I bricked it. Thank you very much, Dwight Howard. All right, man, this one is over. I'll see you guys with the finals MVP. We cap off a very fun rebuild with a championship, the only way I ever want to end it, and Dwight Howard is your finals MVP. So first year here in DC. Real life, Dwight Howard does end up with the Wizards. It's just a lot later in his career and was not nearly as good. But yeah, man, as I mentioned, this was just a very, very fun rebuild. There was just something about kind of the way this rebuild went that I just really, really enjoyed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it as well. I mentioned, last time I did a LeBron era rebuild, actually 2 days ago now, that I wanted to go ahead and do a bad team. The Wizards were clearly a bad team, and I'm glad we turned it around for them. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like down below. That would obviously be awesome. Any other video ideas you guys have, let me know down below in the comment section. And that's it for me, man. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.